Hey guys, this is a tutorial on how to do Match My Line Challenge 6, which is, I think, the hardest challenge that we have here. So let's go to it. Let's look at the example they gave us. They want us to first connect these dots, these blue dots, all around the origin, not to the origin like last one. So let's take a look at this first line. The first thing I want to look at it is they have these numbers in a different format. You'll see they have the -2/10. What do you think that represents? Well, it represents the slope between this point and this point. All right. So what do? They go down 1, 2, and over 10. That's where this comes from. It's down, so it's negative, and it's 10 over and down 2. So that's all there is to it. -2/10. So that number is always going to be the slope. Where does this -6 come from? Let me tell you about that. This -6 comes from this number right here. The point is 6, 1, so it's moved over to the right. Pretend that this line actually had an intercept here, but it shifted over to the right 6. Why is it -6? Because it would take -6 to get it back to here. All right, so the -6 comes from the shift to the right. And then the +1 means it shifted up 1 from the origin. So if it was just at the origin, it would be an easy equation. But because it shifted, we have to account for that by numbers in the parentheses next to the x term and a plus or -1 if it's been shifted up or down. Let's do this next one. I want to go from this dot to this dot. So what's first of all I'm going to do is type y equals, then I'm going to write the slope just like we did -2/10 here. This one is down, I think, 8 over 1. So I'm going to write -8 over 1. And then I'm going to write parentheses, just like the one above it. And I'm going to use that one above it to model everything. Now I'm going to look at this is my second dot. And I want to say, how far to the left or right did I move? In this case, I moved to the left of the axes, 1, 2, 3 spaces over. So watch what I do. The last one was negative when I moved it to the right, and this is to the left, so I'm going to add it. I moved 3 spaces to the right, excuse me, 3 spaces to the left. Again, it was moved from the axes, the y-axis is moved over 1, 2, 3 to the left, so it would take 3 to move it back to 0. I'll just leave that as the pattern. Hopefully you see the pattern. How far down did it go? If you move this dot from the x-axis, how far down did it go? When -5 down, so I'm going to say -5. This one is just shifted down 5, so that's all you write for the y-axis shift. You don't have to change the sign. Then I check my work, and you'll see I have now a line that matches those two. And some of you will be like, that's all you have to do. Yeah. And then follow that same pattern for the other ones. But those of you who need more help, I'll do the next one for you, all right? All right, so we want to connect this dot here, -3, to this dot here, -1, 4. How do we do that? We first find the slope. So we write the equation, y equals, slope between that is up 1, and it's a positive slope, over, it looks like, let's count, if it's at 3, 5, and 1, -4, we've moved over 4. So the slope is positive 1/4. Now our pattern was always to put parentheses. And then let's take a look at this right point. Do you agree it moved to the right 1? So that's very similar to this top one where it was -6. So this will be -1 because it's moved to the right 1. Let's keep in mind that shift. I already have a parentheses there. And then I just need to decide if the second dot moved up or down, how far down it moved. It moved down 4. So I put -4. Then I check my work to see if that created that line, and it does. Now I do want to save one for you. So try to do that last one. Remember, it's the slope. Don't be surprised if it's a nice, easy whole number on this one. And then the shift of this shifted to this way 6, and it shifted up 1, just to give you a hint. Hopefully you can try experiment. It's just about learning. It's not about like memorizing and knowing all of it right now, but just play with it and do your best. All right, guys, thank you and good luck.